Ragin Cajuns baseball has its final piece to complete, Team 113. Let's discuss it here on Ragin Rundown. What's good, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into another episode of Ragin Rundown. All Cajuns, all the time. I'm your guy, Jamarcus Fitzpatrick, but you can always call me Fitz. And in today's episode, we will be talking about the final commitment that Louisiana baseball has earned for their 2027 class. We'll also discuss about UL men's basketball, adding another little bit of anticipation as they reveal yet another opponent that they will be facing this upcoming basketball season. So we'll lead off as we've done in many episodes, and I know it's been a couple of days. It's been kind of quiet. I've also had some time off, but it's been a little bit quiet on the front. But now we have some news to discuss, so it warrants another episode. Louisiana baseball gains a commitment from Chipola Junior College right-handed pitcher Joey Ervin. This young man is 6'1". He is 200 pounds. He is a redshirt sophomore, so he will have 2 years of eligibility under the 5-year plan because he redshirted. Redshirt freshman, redshirt sophomore, so he has 2 more years of eligibility. According to his statistics that he pinned to his Twitter account, he has a 92 to 94 fastball. It tops out at 96. It's a slider between 84 to 86. So he has some really good stuff on him. A quick snapshot about some of his statistics. He's been to 2 schools. He started off at Coastal Alabama North in 2024, where he had 14 appearances, a 5.02 ERA, 14 in the third innings pitched, 17 strikeouts, 13 walks, 8 earned runs, while opponents hit a 243 against him. Last year in his season at Chipola College, excuse me, words are hard. 16 appearances, 8-1 record, a 5.74 ERA in 4 starts. He had pitched in 42 in the third innings, 58 strikeouts, 27 earned runs, and 30 walks, while opponents hit a 256. So the strikeout to walk ratio decreased in terms of what it was in the first season of his career. He wasn't getting much burn at Coastal Alabama North, so he transfers to Chipola College, getting a few appearances, being a solid back-end option for that team, and that's what you're gaining in someone like him to your roster now. And from what I've been told, he did choose the Cajuns over Oregon. So that just goes to show you the level of commitment that players are seeing in the vision that Matt Deggs is presenting to these players as they are inching closer to fall ball. And once we get there to the 2027 season, so you gain another pitcher commitment. And so from what I've been told, this roster is complete. They will not pursue anyone further. Things are completely rounded out for them. I will name off all of these players for you. And if you want to be able to write it down or anything like that, I have them all, and I'll read them off to you as we've done in so many different episodes. We'll start off with the returners. We'll talk about the freshmen and then round out each position with the transfer players. So you have 20 total pitchers. First off, with your returners, Ty Roman, Garrett Carter, Cam Riley, Parker Smith, Hayden Pearson, Sawyer Pruitt, Chase Morgan, Gerard Tillett, Landon Victorian, Bryce Wilson. Your freshman is Evan Vincent from Turlings Catholic. Your transfers are Trent Lape, Dagan Kubat, Maddox Sullivan, Charlie Krebs, Blaine Albright, Griffin Miller, Kendall Dove, Jackson Evers, and Joey Ervin, 20 pitchers. Your infielders, your returners, Drew Markle, Blaze Rodriguez, Josh Lim. Miles Ladeau is your freshman from Barb. Your transfers are Eric Fernandez, Jeremy Kuiper, Micah Kendrick, Manny Salez, Tanner Hornbeck. That's 9. Your outfielders, you have 4 returners and a transfer. Those 4 returners are Donovan LaSalle, Mark Collins, Noah Lewis, Steven Spolita, I've been told, will switch from catcher to outfielder. There's no telling there, but I'm going to assume from what I've been told that he will be in the outfield. And Kel Pisano is your final outfielder. That gives you 5. You have 2 catchers in Colt Brown and Jose Carmona. the transfer. Colt Brown is your returner for 36 total guys. And when you look at the layout of this roster, right, you have all of your pitchers, and it was really, really important for this squad to get the number of pitchers that they did, because Coach Deggs felt like, coming out of the Starkville Regional, that they didn't run out of gas. I asked him that, did you feel like your guys ran out of gas? And he simply said no. He felt like they just needed more arms. And there was something that he said after the loss to Mississippi State in the regional final that stood out in one of his post-game comments. I'm going to play that entire clip for you right here so you can be able to hear it. It's about a minute long, everything in his entirety of what he felt like could be the expectations for this team if they could get all the right arms in front of them.
First of all, we have some really talented kids coming in. Secondly, if we can match what we've got position player-wise on the bump, you're going to have to replace Brash. I understand that. I truly feel like this team will be knocking on the door of Omaha. We'll push to get there. I don't think, and I know I'm overconfident at times, I just am, that's just me, but I don't think starting next fall and making a goal to host is out of the realm of possibilities. I just don't with this group. And I don't like the fact that we're talking about having to get them back. Bottom line is this is a brotherhood. If they decide that they want to be a part of that brotherhood and they want to bet on themselves, if they want to be a big fish in a smaller pond, but that pond is very, very popular and every scout in America knows about that little bitty small pond, and if they want to bet on themselves, like Kyle DeBarge, Carson Rockefort, LP Langevin, Julian Brock, Simo, the rest of them, Kyle DeBarge bet on himself. He turned down 500 and made 2.6. And that's what it boils down to.
So a lot of passion there from Coach Deggs in his final few seconds there, saying simply that he believes with what these guys were able to put together, that this roster would be capable of reaching Omaha. And to have that type of confidence in your team, knowing what you have and knowing what you could be able to bring in. And like he said, knowing that there have been other guys to come through this program that have been big fish in small ponds, it gives a great recruiting pitch. And obviously there were multiple guys that believed in that vision of Matt Deggs and company. And that's why this roster has been fully complete as we head now into the 2027 season. So that's how things are looking. And it'll be interesting to see how they all gel together, because like on paper, we know like it looks good, it sounds good, it feels good, like all of those great things like that. But it does not matter unless they are able to put it all together as a complete team. That is what is most important. That's what matters the most, because we can say it all we want to about, hey, this guy is really, really good on paper, or this team really has a lot of potential. But if they can't formulate it, if it cannot come all together, then none of that will really matter at the end of the day. So that's how things are looking on the baseball front. In terms of basketball, it's going to be an exciting in-state matchup for the Ragin Cajuns later this year in 2026. We're going to discuss a little bit about that matchup, how important it is, and what it could all mean for the future of this program when we come back here on Ragin Rundown. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Ragin Rundown. We're going to get back into the action in just a second, but before we do, please do me a favor. Please like this video, share it, and leave a comment down below. But most importantly, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're listening, please follow the podcast feed, rate the show, and leave us a review, because that's going to help us get in front of more Ragin Cajun fans just like yourself. So before we went to break, we talked about how baseball has now rounded out their 2026 or 2027 upcoming roster for the next season. But in a couple of months, there will be another Ragin Cajuns program that will be getting into action. And it will be going against an in-state rival, as I'm trying to pull it up here on my computer with the graphic that they posted a little bit earlier today. The men's basketball program posted earlier here today on Monday, July the 6th, saying mark your calendars. One of the biggest games of the season is set as Louisiana will head down to Baton Rouge and take on the LSU Tigers on December 22nd. That is a Tuesday, I believe, of 2026. Let me double check on my calendar so I know I'm not telling you guys incorrectly. I thought I looked earlier, but I want to be correct. Yes, that is a Tuesday, 2 days before Christmas Eve and 3 before Christmas Day. So that's going to be a fun one for sure. Now, there are a lot of reasons why this game is important. The very first one is kind of not the obvious one, but it is what it is because this is still business while it is athletics, and that is for a monetary reason because we know that Power 4 schools are willing to play G5 schools, and this is an opportunity to make anywhere between maybe 80 to 100,000 for a single game because of something like this. But Quantas White, I'm sure, is not thinking about, hey, I'm just going to go out here and get paid. He wants these guys to go out and compete. And that kind of ties into the second reason behind that, which is, the exposure aspect of things. Like if you go there, you are playing on a bigger stage, so to speak, against a program that is in a bigger realm than you are, playing in the SEC, playing against in a conference with the likes of Arkansas and Kentucky and so on and so forth. So playing against an opponent like that gives guys a ton of exposure because now you have guys like Jeremiah Evans, like Todd Jones, like Jamiron Keller that, hey, I crossed up a guy that played at LSU. So if I can do it against him, we can go ahead and be able to compete and roll through the Sun Belt because of, that confidence that it will build into them from an exposure standpoint. And the next thing is just bragging rights overall. Like if you're watching this pod, that means you're a Cajun fan. And anytime you play anyone else, you want to be able to say, we beat y'all. And when you're playing LSU, you definitely want to say, we beat y'all, whether that has been in softball, they've done it before, whether that's baseball, they just did it this past season. You want to beat the in-state opponent in whatever opportunity that you get a chance to. So this will be the 6th matchup all time between these two opponents since 2001, that is. All of them have been played in Baton Rouge, so this will be yet another matchup happening in Baton Rouge. All of them have been losses for the Cajuns, and all of them have not been particularly close margins except for the 2008 season where they lost 81-79, and then in 2017, the 2018 and 2017 season, they lost 84-76 in the notorious, if I'm not mistaken, now that I think about it, they actually did play again, and it was during the time where Bob Marlin was the coach, and it was Bob Marlin facing off, words are hard, I'm sorry, Bob Marlin and Will Wade getting into a little bit of a shouting match, so to speak, there at half court. So that was the last time that those two teams played, and I do believe that was at the PMAC, if I'm not mistaken. I'm drawing a blank just a little bit there, but on the website, 2017-2018 season, March the 14th, that was the last time that these teams played. I believe that was in the NIT tournament, if I'm not mistaken. So that was the last time that these teams met. So like I said, you always want to get the opportunity to be able to beat an in-state foe. And now that that matchup is set, they will have the opportunity to do that. We know that football season is the first one that's coming up, but right in behind that, you got football, you got volleyball going on, and soccer as well as a fall sport. Right in behind that, you got basketball. So this now gives you something to look forward to as you are inching through the remainder of 2026. We got a lot more things that are going to be on tap, obviously, as we get through the summer. Sunbelt Media Day is going to be next week. Myself and Anthony Council, with my day job at KTC, will be heading down there to check that out. But like I said, this just gives you a little bit more excitement and something to look forward to as you push towards the 2026-2027 men's basketball season. So Ragin Cajuns baseball gets a commitment from Joey Ervin. Basketball is set to play LSU on December 22nd. at the Pete Maravich Center. So that's going to wrap up yet another episode of Ragin Rundown. If you made it to this point in the episode, thank you so much. If you're watching, please do me a favor. Please like this video, share it, and leave a comment down below. But most importantly, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're listening, please follow the podcast feed, rate the show, and leave us a review, because that's going to help us get in front of more Ragin Cajun fans just like yourself. I'm your guy, Jamarcus Fitzpatrick. We'll see you guys next time.